Can anyone tell me if they know the word biodiversity? The bio means life, and the diversity means variety, differences. So your job this morning in this first activity is to find as much biodiversity, as many different forms of being an earthling living on the planet Earth as you possibly can. And you're going to do this in small teams. Each team is going to have an iPad, which you're just going to be using as a camera. Come back into the classroom with 10 photographs. So try to go for as much diversity as you can, and then afterwards we're going to come back in and see the photographs that you've taken. Now, if you have a phone, were you asked to download an app called Seek? So Seek is an app which allows you to photograph something and then tells you what you've got. So if you've caught something, or you've found a plant and you're not sure what it is, try and take a good photograph of it on your phone, having opened the Seek app, and it will attempt to tell you what it is that you're looking at. And the good thing about Seek is, every time you identify something, it adds it to your score, if you like, and it actually encourages you to look for more biodiversity. And that's what starts to make you a citizen scientist. That's the other theme of this morning, is citizen science. And there are lots of people in the world who are interested in science, but they're not actually scientists. And citizen scientists are ordinary people who help real scientists gather information about the world. So if somebody's an expert on trees and it's their job, their profession is to research trees, loads of trees in the world, but not many tree scientists. But if people like yourself start using apps like Seek, then it gives them lots of information about the different types of tree in the world and where they're found and so on. And those scientists can then use that information. And there's another app, iNaturalist, which is like the big brother or sister of Seek, which enables you to become an even better citizen scientist. There's another one that is quite widely known because people who like birds use it, and that's called eBird. And again, it's the same idea. I've got some friends who are really into watching birds, and they photograph birds and they record where they've seen them, and they add it to eBird. And that means scientists all over the world can then use that information that they, as ordinary non-scientists, have contributed. Now, you're going to have some other things to help you find a diversity of things. The first thing is a net. Now, this might look like a butterfly net, and you can catch butterflies in it, but actually it's also designed to be quite sturdy, quite strong, and it's called a sweep net. So anywhere that you have vegetation that's not too woody or not too prickly, you can simply sweep this through, and you might be quite surprised at what you find in it. It's a good way to find little insects, spiders, and so on. So they could add to your diversity. I see some people pulling faces at the idea of insects and spiders. They're great, I love them. Make friends with them. We need them. Actually, all this diversity is tremendously important because without it, we wouldn't be here. We're dependent on all these other living things to keep the Earth habitable. So I sometimes tell people that biodiversity means our life support system because we need all these other things on the planet. And we also have a few of these, probably enough for one per group. It's a fancy bug box. The top pulls off, you put your bug in there, you put that on, and there's a magnifying glass at the top, but also at the side, so you can look at it from different angles.
Wait, let me take a picture. A close-up.
We can even make it a little bit of a competition. If you've got somebody in your group with Seek on their phone, how many different species can they take photographs of and get identified using Seek?
Mm-hmm. It says isopods.
It's about opening your eyes and really looking. And maybe if you see a small log on the ground, maybe carefully turning it over to see what's underneath. See if there's anything there that you can photograph. But make sure if you turn a log over or you turn a stone over, you put it back where you found it, because it's probably somebody's home. So if you're leading a session like this, the idea really is to encourage students to use their own senses and to observe carefully to see how many different things that they can find. And your job really is to pose questions to help them think about where they're looking and how they're looking and what it is that they're finding. So I'm going to go and find one of the other groups and see how they're getting on and see what they've managed to find. Ah, there's an idea. Let's have a look. What have you got then? A lot of excitement.
A European earwig,
That's correct.
once-winged bug, and a snail.
So this is a beetle.
Oh.
It's called a chafer beetle.
It says crabs.
Scarab, yeah, okay. So a scarab is another name for this group of beetles. So it's not telling you exactly which species it is, but it's got the right family. Keep hunting. You don't need to be able to identify everything. You don't need to be an expert to do this. It's really just about celebrating the diversity of living things that we find where we live and asking questions. And the apps such as Seek can help you to get some answers as well. It's an unusual colour for an earthworm, isn't it? Because usually they're more red.
No real common name exists, but they are simply referred to as haplotaxias.
We'll believe Seek that it's Haplotaxida. Do you know your scientific name?
No. Homo sapiens?
Homo sapiens.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so we did find a good variety of things this morning. What I'd like to do is just give everyone a quick chance to look at some of the photographs that other groups took. And what have we got there? A fly, a true fly, scientists would call it. And that looks very much like a spider. Really great picture of a load of ants, red ants. There are thousands of different types of ant in the world. That was really good. I think you found some very interesting things in the end. It is only May, and things only get better during the summer in terms of bugs and plants growing up and so on, so you can find more and more as the summer goes on.
So we're down here today doing some citizen science as a part of our biodiversity unit, our ecosystems unit. So they've been looking at terrestrial plants and animals for the morning, and now we're looking at aquatic life. I think that the big take-home point that we really want them to get is the importance of the interactions between different living things and the understanding that we are a part of an ecosystem. And so they're looking at things that they might not have noticed before, and we're talking about the importance of those living things and how in many ways we rely on them and their health as well. We're also really focusing on the interactions between living and non-living things. So understanding how environmental factors can easily influence the balance of an ecosystem. Can I get you to fill this cup with water? But I don't want like dirt in it, I want like water. For example, they're doing water sampling and we're using the Water Rangers testing kit. So they're collecting data on salinity and pH and temperature and so on of the water. And then we'll go back into the classroom and enter the data on the Water Rangers website, which is really neat because you can look up any body of water in North America, big or small, and then enter your findings on it. And so that scientists all over the place can access that and monitor water quality data in response to other variables. Okay, so you want to start keeping track of all of the different types of invertebrates you find in this pond. They're connecting with this way more deeply than they would by simply looking at it in a textbook. When we show students things simply in textbooks or with a YouTube video, we're not really giving them the opportunity to personally connect with the thing that they're learning about. And that personal connection is really important because if we want them to grow up into adults who are going to fight to protect natural spaces like these ones, they need to have that personal connection in order to truly appreciate it and love it.